Good afternoon. I call to order the closed session meeting of the Mayor and City Council at 3 p.m. Good afternoon and welcome everyone, and thank you for being here, and thank you to those viewing remotely. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Sanchez. Here. Councilmember Ibarra.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Here.
Councilmember Charette. Here. Councilmember Canas is not present at the moment. Councilmember Flores.
Present.
Councilmember Ortiz.
Here.
And Mayor Tran.
Here. Thank you. Moving on to public comments for closed session. Oh, I see. The City Manager Office has a request to make to the council, I understand. Is that correct, Madam City Manager?
That is correct. Mayor and City Council, under Government Code Section 54954.2 B2 of the Brown Act, the City Council may add an urgency or late-breaking item to this agenda by a 2-3 vote. That is 5 of 7 votes. If it finds that there is a need to take immediate action, and 2, the need came to the attention of the staff after the agenda was posted, staff believes both findings can be met. The need to address this item arose subsequent to the posting of the agenda for tonight's meeting, and therefore is an urgency that we need to discuss during closed session.
And Mayor, I can add some additional detail. There's an employee personnel issue where an employee revoked a severance agreement and has since resigned, both of which happened after the posting of the agenda. And so there's an urgent need for the council to take action to discuss any payments that might be owed to an employee.
Okay. Councilmember?
No, that's what my question was.
Okay.
So move to approve?
Move to motion to call for vote to
Motion
add.
second and roll
Is there a
call vote.
second to add? Okay. Is there a second? Yes. There's a motion and a second. Please call for the votes.
Councilmember Sanchez.
Yes.
Councilmember Ibarra.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes.
Councilmember Charette. Yes. Councilmember Canas.
Yes.
Councilmember Flores.
Yes.
Councilmember Ortiz.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Moving on to public comments for closed session. Madam City Clerk, do we have any public comments?
We have one speaker, Christian Shaughnessy.
Thank you.
Hello, folks. Christian Shaughnessy here. I'm just coming on behalf of a lot of people in Family Assistance Program and a lot of folks in the nonprofit space and the housing provider space who have expressed some concerns and anxieties regarding the upcoming Navigation Center and how that relates with what's been going on with the current tumult around the city manager. And so we are just wondering if we could count on previous estimates of when the Navigation Center could roughly come out as still being in place, given the new interim or the interim after the interim city manager, or what other things are going on with that. There are a lot of young people and there are a lot of unhoused adult people in the city who really want some confidence and clarity with regards to that, and it's something that a lot of people's lives and well-beings are depending on. So, thank you, folks.
Thank you.
That's all for public comment.
Thank you. We will now, oh, yes, Councilmember Ortiz?
I just have a couple questions. I saved off people from public comments. So real quick, Mr. City Attorney, I just want to verify, although like your contract doesn't state that we are required to do an evaluation, it is within the purview of the council to add you to a performance evaluation process. Is that correct?
Yes, you're welcome to always evaluate the city attorney. Okay. We serve at the pleasure of the council.
I just wanted to make sure because the community was asking. And then I did have another question on Madam City Manager on the public employee appointment for the interim. So, and moving forward, so the consultant will be coming and setting things on the agenda through the city manager's office, or how is that being handled? And interviews being set up, is that all through you now?
This time it was not. The only thing I was approached on was the meetings being held via Zoom or in person. I provided both options and then left it at the liberty of the legal counsel to decide based on the information provided at the last closed session with counsel, as I was not privy to that information.
Okay, and then real quick, so anybody that we do pick to be the interim city manager, they will be then reporting to who?
The interim city manager will then report to the mayor and council.
Okay,
Yes.
and not to the city attorney or the city clerk?
No,
It's just gonna be
absolutely
with
not.
us.
Per the charter, no. The interim city manager will report to the mayor and council.
And if we were to remain with an acting, say, whatever we would need in our time, is that still the same thing?
That's the same situation,
all right.
yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Seeing no other comments, we will now convene. All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome and thank you for being here, and thank you to those viewing remotely. I call to order this joint regular meeting of the Mayor and City Council and the Mayor and City Council acting as the successor agency to the redevelopment agency of the City of San Bernardino, the San Bernardino City Housing Authority, and as the San Bernardino Joint Powers Finance Authority at 5:07 p.m. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Sanchez?
Here.
Councilmember Ibarra?
Present.
Councilmember Figueroa?
Here.
Councilmember Charette? Here. Councilmember Canas?
Here.
Councilmember Flores?
Present.
And Councilmember Ortiz?
Here.
And Mayor Tran?
Here, thank you. We will now move on, actually, Mr. City Attorney, is there anything to report out from closed session?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. There is one item to report from closed session. The mayor and city council has, by a unanimous vote, decided to appoint a new interim city manager. His name is Bill Gallardo. And the mayor and city council will be scheduling a special meeting to be held this Friday at 5:30 p.m. to consider approving the required resolutions to make that appointment take legal effect. Until such time, Tanya Roma will continue serving as acting city manager. And also, I'd like the public to be aware that Ralph Anderson and Associates has been hired to conduct a search for a permanent city manager. That concludes my report, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. We will now move on to invocation and pledge. Pastor August Smith from True Light Community Fellowship will lead tonight's invocation. Please approach the podium at this time, and Vivian Aparicio from Hillside Elementary School will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please all rise.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you. We thank you for another day in the land of the living to be about a better San Bernardino. As we gather for this mayor and council meeting, we ask for your guidance and your wisdom in deliberations. May our discussions be respectful and thoughtful and focused on what's best for our community. Grant us, Father, discernment to make decisions that align with your will and empower us to act with compassion and integrity towards all. Lord, your word says that we should pray for those that have authority or position over us. So we lift up our mayor, we lift up our council members, we lift up those holding position and authority. Father, in the name of Jesus, we lift up the city of San Bernardino as a whole, every resident, every employee, our peace officers, and community members. Those that might stand in need of something, Lord, we ask that you provide for the need today. We pray for unity amongst us, that we might work together in harmony to serve the greater good. Now, Father, in the name of Jesus, we rebuke the spirit of confusion. We rebuke the spirit of discord and anger, the hardened heart, and anything that would take our minds away from the business at hand. Use us, guide us, and in everything we pray that you would get all the glory. In Jesus' name, amen.
Vivian, you can come to the podium, please.
Please place your right hand over your heart. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor August Smith, and thank you, Vivian. We will move on to public hearing, actually. Is that? I'm sorry, presentation. Okay, we have two presentations. The first one is the recognition of the Public Works Engineering Team for Engineers Week 2025 in the city of San Bernardino. Do we have a presentation? Who's presenting this item? Lynn, Director Merrill.
Madam Mayor, members of the City Council, I'd like to ask my engineering team to come forward tonight. Engineering Week celebrates the accomplishments of the engineering profession. And this team, and they better be getting up and coming this direction, because I warned them that they were coming up on stage to be introduced.
Come up on stage, everyone. Council, would you like to join me?
This team has accomplished a significant amount of work in the last year, moving this city forward with investments. Moving this city.
Testing. This mic's not working.
This team has been moving this city forward with investment in parks, in roads, and in infrastructure throughout the city, and is making a difference in the quality of life for this community. And so I'd like to ask Azam to just simply introduce. I'm going to do it. I'll leave it for seeing them down here. I want to announce to the audience that one of these individuals just recently passed their professional engineer testing, which is a significant effort. Bullis just recently passed his professional engineering, and so he joins in to an honorable profession of public works, public engineers, and I can tell you for sure that I'm very proud of this team, very proud of what it does for this city.
And thank you, Director Merrill, and thank you to the team. Big round of applause to the city staff who make magic happen in our city. Quick picture, come on. Thank you, Lynn, and the team. Another big round of applause to the Public Works Engineering Team, where magic happens to build our city. Thank you. All right, Council, would you stay with me? We have one more presentation. It is the recognition of sponsors for the 2025 San Bernardino Lunar New Year Cultural Celebration. It's the second year. And I'd like to call up folks who have sponsored this event. It's the California Culture Festival, Dow Real Estate. If you hear your name, please come up to the stage. Dow Real Estate Group, Inland Chinese Association, Creative Enterprise LP, Save Our Sons, H&H Lending, Lucky Star Marketing, MSV Incorporated, Hip 10 Supermarket. Thank you so much for partnering with the city and sponsoring the second annual 2025 Lunar New Year. If you weren't able to attend, it was absolutely magical, and we look forward to next year, but we also want to look forward to more cultural events in our city. Big round of applause, everyone. Okay, let's take a quick picture and come on. Thank you. Another big round of applause. Thank you so much. Hi, how are you doing? Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes. Oh, yes, absolutely. You could say a few words.
My name is Greg Villanueva. I just wanted to say what an honor this is because 40 years ago, we designed this building and dedicated the building as the architect. Thank you. Thank you.
Your name, sir?
Greg Villanueva.
Yes. Big round of applause. Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Council. We will now move on to public hearing. We have item 3 to 6 for public hearing. The first one, item 3, Development Code Amendment 2406. I'm opening the public hearing at 5:18 p.m. Could city staff provide a presentation on this item?
Madam Mayor, members of the City Council, this item is an amendment to the city's zoning ordinance, and I have Mr. Mike Rosales, Senior Planner, to give a presentation.
I don't see it. I can wink it.
I don't see it in there. Which one is it from there?
It's going to be 2406, item number 3. I can just wing it. All right, so good evening, esteemed mayor and council. Tonight we have Development Code Amendment 24-06. It is a city-initiated amendment to Section 19.02.50 for basic provisions of definitions of our San Bernardino Development Code. For Title 19, it is to update the definitions of a neighborhood grocery store and supermarkets to align with the industry standards. The City of San Bernardino Development Code defines a neighborhood grocery store as a full-service grocery store ranging in sizes from 5,001 to 15,000 square feet in gross floor area. And this sells fresh fruit, vegetables, meat, fish, and food that has been prepared on site and may or may not sell alcohol. A supermarket or full-service grocery store is defined as a full-service, self-service retail store larger than 15,000 square feet in gross floor area, which sells food and household supplies. These definitions do not align with the industry standards definitions nor the state's definition for the size of a neighborhood grocery store supermarket. The average size of the grocery store has decreased over the years from approximately 40,000 square feet to about 12,000 to 20,000 square feet, which is reflected in some popular outlets like Trader Joe's and Aldi. According to Health and Safety Code, Section 113948E3, a grocery store is defined as a store primarily engaged in the retail of sundry items, including any area within the store that is not a separate business within the store where food is prepared and served, such as a bakery, deli, meat or seafood counter. Per Senate Bill 1383, a grocery store is defined as a food service distributor that is at least 10,000 square feet. These operators are subject to a robust food recovery program mandated to send the maximum amount of edible food they would otherwise dispose of to food recovery organizations, or they face fines and penalties. If the state recognizes anything over 10,000 square feet as a full-service grocery store subject to penalties and fines, then the City of San Bernardino Development Code should align with these standards. The City of San Bernardino Development Code classifies neighborhood grocery stores as those between 5,000 and 15,000 square feet, and anything over 15,000 square feet as a full-service supermarket grocery store. However, the industry standard for a grocery store or supermarket is typically 10,000 square feet and above. This discrepancy means that operators of stores between 10,000 and 15,000 square feet in San Bernardino are disadvantaged compared to competitors in other jurisdictions that follow the industry standard due to the outdated definitions in our code. Approving Development Code Amendment 24-06 would align the city's regulations with industry standards, allowing these operators to compete on an equal footing and retain viable business within the City of San Bernardino. Now you can see in front of you there is a little chart. So this is just a chart that kind of reflects what the categories and what the industry standard versus our definition is. So for our City of San Bernardino definition for a neighborhood grocery store, it's anything from 5,001 to 15,000 square feet. For the industry standard, it's under 10,000 square feet is considered neighborhood grocery store. For supermarkets, grocery stores are over 15,000 square feet by the City of San Bernardino Dev Code, but to industry standards, they are 10,001 square feet and above. This discrepancy impact with operators of stores between 10,000 and 15,000 square feet are disadvantaged in the City of San Bernardino per our code. For the industry standard, there is no discrepancy impact. The proposed Development Code Amendment aligns with industry standards, as so does the industry standards would align as well. So the expected benefit would allow operators to compete on an equal footing, helps retain viable businesses within the City of San Bernardino, attracts more viable businesses. So tonight, our recommendation is that the mayor and city council introduce the first reading, read by title only, and waive further reading of the ordinance of the mayor and city council of the City of San Bernardino, California, approving Development Code Amendment 24-06 and finding such action statutorily exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act under Public Resources Code Section 21080-117, and schedule the adoption of the ordinance to the regularly scheduled meeting of the mayor and city council on March 5th, 2025. And that concludes my presentation, and I can answer questions if you have them.
Thank you. Do we have any requests to speak?
We have one request to speak from Les.
Hey, I might be a little off subject, but please don't bring Dollar Generals to the north end or in the 7th Ward, please. And then whenever you guys do open up something, please notify the community instead of just 5 feet from the store. Please let everyone know in the community what you guys are going to open, because that Dollar General, someone backseated us on that one. Alexander, he played us on that one. We don't need Dollar Generals in the north end at all. So that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you. Is that the only speakers we have?
That concludes the
Okay,
speakers.
thank you. I am now closing the public hearing at 5:25 p.m. Do we have comments from council? Councilmember Sanchez?
Yes, first of all, I want to clarify that statement. State law requires 500-foot radius notification for major projects.
Councilman Sanchez and members of the City Council, we actually go a step further.
No, that's exactly what
Yeah,
state law mandates a minimum of 500 square feet, or
We
sorry,
do- we-
a radius of 500 feet. The
we
city
do
goes
1,000
above
feet.
that and doubles it at 1,000-foot
Yes,
radius.
Absolutely.
So we're more than double the state requirement.
Yes.
I
Correct,
wanted
sir.
to verify that because that happened under my tenure here, Councilmember Ibarra, Figueroa, and Charette.
That is correct.
We approved that. I remember that. I'd like to move to approve.
You have a question? Councilmember Ortiz?
I just want to, where it says the expected benefit of the city's current definition, competing on equal foot helps retain viable businesses in SB. Can you just clarify that real quick?
So currently, there was only one current business that's affected by the change, but there's been a lot of inquiries. So we have about 2.5 million square feet of vacant commercial property, and that stands to gain from this amendment. This initiative aims to create an environment where smaller business owners can thrive and engage in a healthy economic competition within the city.
Okay, thank you. And I just want to add to Councilman Sanchez's point that we have made extreme efforts to make sure the notification process is adhered to. But what Les is saying is absolutely true about the lack of notification to the residents that were directly behind the Dollar General. And it's only by making sure that we follow through what's what on our books and listen to when residents are telling us what's happening in their backyard that we make sure that we're in compliance. And so I appreciate everything moving forward from the fiasco at the Dollar General, that you guys have really stepped up your game with that. So thank you.
Thank you, we appreciate
Thank you,
that.
Councilwoman. Councilmember Canas?
No, I just second the motion.
Thank you. There is a motion to waive and second to waive further reading and introduce by title only ordinance number MC 1648. Seeing no other comments, we'll be utilizing digital voting. Council members, please utilize the voting buttons on the screen to make your motion and second and votes, please. And Madam City Clerk, could you read the title of the ordinance into the record?
Ordinance number MC 1648 of the Mayor and City Council of the City of San Bernardino, California, approving Development Code Amendment 24-06, amending Chapter 19.02.050, Basic Provision Definitions to update the City of San Bernardino Development Code, SBMC Title 19, definitions for neighborhood grocery stores, supermarkets to align with state and industry standards, and finding such action statutorily exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act under Public Resource Code Section 21080.17.
Thank you. I believe the council members already casted their votes. Madam City Clerk, please read the votes.
The motion passes unanimous.
Thank you. Now moving on to item number 4, notice of funding availability for the rapid rehousing program under the Encampment Resolution Fund.
Madam Mayor. Are we ready?
I am opening the public hearing, thank you, at 5:28 PM. Could city staff provide the presentation now? Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Mayor, members of the City Council, I've asked Deputy Director of Housing and Homelessness, Cassandra Searcy, to present this item to the City Council.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The public hearing today addresses the city's NOFA, which is a Notice of Funding Availability for Rapid Rehousing under the Encampment Resolution Fund 3 initiative. The city released this NOFA actually on January 21st. The funding application deadline is February 26th, specifically at 3 p.m. The application can be found on the city's housing webpage. Just to give points of clarity, this NOFA application was published in the El Chicano and Sun Telegram. The state did not require this. This is just transparent information that the city felt was the responsible thing to do. And then also there was a major email blast that was passed along from the county's continuum of care, and it was sent to every registered homeless network provider agency so that they can be aware of the situation. The city is seeking to utilize encampment resolution funds to address a 5.2-mile area prioritizing Waterman Avenue. This is a major thoroughfare, and specifically the encampment area will be focused from 40th Street all the way to Mill Street. To be clear, an encampment does not necessarily need to be directly faced on Waterman Avenue. It could we can consider properties that butt up against Waterman Avenue. So for example, Pioneer Cemetery has a plot of land that butts up against Waterman Avenue, and if you're not aware, there are a significant amount of homeless encampments in that area, and this program can assist. There are two main components. First of all, we're looking to assist 60 individuals, individuals or households, and the two main components are administration and implementation. So specifically for administration, we're looking to have an experienced subcontractor that can provide case management services, landlord engagement, housing navigation. And when I say housing navigation, I mean actually going out and locating housing. And housing looks different for everybody. So whether it's an apartment, whether it's a residential facility, room and board, shared housing, we're open. This program will also cover rent for 6 months for individuals, and it will cover utility assistance, the security deposit. We're also going to provide landlord incentives, and then there's the implementation portion that we're looking to assist. So total for this actual program in regards to rapid rehousing is $1,392,432, and this will expand across a little over 2 years. The actual term date will be June 30th, 2027, and this does align with the city's strategic initiative to improve the quality of life, particularly for its unhoused residents. And just sharing a little bit of background, the ERF program, the Encampment Resolution Fund program, was authorized by Senate Bill 197 as well as Senate Bill 101. This program is administered by the California Housing and Community Development. They took this program over about 6 months ago. The city actually received a conditional award letter back in April. Total amount for our ERF3 program is $4,569,511. But because HCD took over the program from the Interagency Council of Homelessness from the state, there was a 6-month delay. So we were not actually able to bring this item to council until December. But nevertheless, we are moving forward. We're having this public hearing. And the city right now is in the process. I think the applications, yes, for the staff that we're looking to hire just closed on the 16th. We have the agreements in place for substance use disorder counseling. The last thing on our list was rapid rehousing. We have other community support agreements in place to facilitate this program. That's it on that. So I kind of want to break this down for the Encampment Resolution Fund. The dollar amount will actually go to assist individuals to transition into housing. Now, I told you housing looks different for everybody, but we had to come up with some type of number or figure. So tentatively, if everybody qualified for a one-bedroom, we will be able to assist 54 individuals into a one-bedroom and 6 individuals into a two-bedroom. The dollar amount actually equates to about $1,611 for a one-bedroom apartment. We know that there are apartments that are cheaper than that, so we had to utilize an average. And then for a two-bedroom apartment, the maximum amount that we can allocate is $2,010 for a two-bedroom. Again, there are apartments cheaper than that in this city. The bottom line is that outside of the security deposit and utility assistance, we will be covering rent for 6 months. If somebody is on SSI and they typically receive like maybe $1,000 a month, we're not going to set them up for failure and put them into a one-bedroom or two-bedroom apartment. They may actually be assisted into a room and board or shared housing, in which case their rent will be cheaper, in which case there will be overflow so that we can assist additional individuals. But this is just a roundabout number, 60 individuals, 54 one-bedrooms, 6 two-bedrooms. Also, AB 12 that was passed in the state of California has made it so that landlords can no longer charge more than 1 month's rent. And as a result of that, it's going to make our dollar stretch in this program so that we can provide the 6 months assistance along with security deposit and utility assistance. In terms of landlord incentives, I just kind of want to give you an idea of what that looks like. If this number stands up, it'll probably be a little less. It could be a little more. We're on average able to provide landlords with $1,650 just to participate in the program. Again, mind you, landlords can no longer charge multiple rents, so we feel like if we kind of hold a carrot, that will be a nice incentive. But the other key component to this is that the subcontractor will have to be responsible for landlord engagement and also to help mitigate issues that may arise. Our goal is to keep an individual housed during that 6 months, their income, and they do have to have an income, whether it's SSI, VA, pension, what have you. they do have to have an income. But at the end of the 6 month, the goal is to have them in a place where they can sustain and continue on their own. But from time to time, there may be individuals who might have a behavior issue, or there just could be some other mitigating factors, and one of the responsibilities for that subcontractor is to maintain that relationship, be able to answer phone calls from that landlord, try to smooth over issues so that a person can remain housed and not be evicted again or end up on the street. Program impact, we are, like I said, serving 60 people. I already talked about a 5.2 mile stretch. Yes, we're providing rental subsidies and case management that I already mentioned. The landlord engagement. One of the critical components is going to be monitoring and evaluation. The subcontractor, if they're not already connected to the county's HMIS system, which is the Homeless Management Information System, or CES, which is the Coordinated Entry System, that is a requirement. That's something that the county requires, the state requires, and it's also a method where the city can justify the services that we are providing so we can go after future funding that comes through our county. Let me make sure I didn't skip. Sorry. Okay. So in terms of the eligibility requirements for the subcontractor, you can be a nonprofit, a community-based organization with the emphasis is that you need to be local, but you can be a community-based organization, you can be a nonprofit. We're looking for entities that have that experience with rapid rehousing, that understands the homeless population, knows how to navigate the system and build relationships with landlords, and again, can show that they have that fiscal or financial responsibility to manage these funds. Again, the application deadline is February 26th. Once the application closes, the city will go ahead and vet and go through all the contracts and select the organization. And our goal, we're estimating right now, if this finishes, to hopefully have this program in place by the end of April. Worst case scenario, early May, but we believe that we can move forward and have this moving forward by the beginning of April. And that pretty much concludes this, but I'm available for questions, if any.
Move to approve.
I second.
Thank you. Are there any speakers?
Yes, we have 2 requests to speak, Christian Shaughnessy and Les.
Thank you.
Oh, my name is Philip Garcia. I'm a resident here in San Bernardino. I was curious today, I didn't know you had the meeting today, but I'm glad I'm here now. What happened is that all the things that are happening now with the president right now, all this nonsense, that he's changing this and that, are they going to change anything here in San Bernardino? Housing and all that, because I'm also waiting for housing right now, because I'm disabled, a senior, and I'm in the list with the housing. I'm very curious about what's going on right now with the president. I got a feeling we're going to get into a worse situation that we are right now. Another thing I was kind of curious about was some of the things that we have done within our county is we have the buildings, okay, a lot of buildings here in San Bernardino County. And very often I hear how they want to change for the power sources, that we should have the prices down. Also, and that what we should have is, you know, the prices, everything going down. What I'm trying to bring to your attention is that, you know what, why is it San Bernardino doesn't have, what's the term? I can't remember the proper term for it, but it's for the power sources that go into the county buildings, you know, solar power sources. How come we don't have that here in San Bernardino? We're talking so much about having more power, and we should have this and that solar power. We don't have anything, or nobody's saying anything about it right now. You know that San Bernardino, if it was to do that, we have all the solar power we can get, with the deserts and everything else. If we could hook this to our buildings, county buildings, even the state buildings out of San Bernardino, for example, you know what, we'll be doing a lot better all the way around. The housing was something I had in mind right now. I wasn't even thinking of it, to tell the truth, that I was writing something. But I hope you'll consider the thought about the solar power I was talking about first. And also for the housing, I'm glad about the way you're managing things right now. And I
Thank
hope
you.
it gets to be a better way of doing it right now.
Thank you,
Because
sir.
I'm waiting for things right now for the houses myself.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next speaker, please state your name.
Good evening, folks, brothers, sisters, Christian Shaughnessy here. With regards to a public hearing, item 4, I think that's rather straightforward. I do want to give a special shout out to Cassandra Cersei and all the other hardworking city staffers here in San Bernardino for really pushing forward the best they can, given many of the circumstances they've been put in, the homeless initiatives that they're fighting for and that the people of San Bernardino really need. I do want to say that with the emphasis on rapid rehousing, I mean, that's something that's better than the Band-Aid solutions we often see with simply giving people motel vouchers for maybe a week or 2 weeks and it not being very sustainable in the long term. So that's another beautiful thing to see. And I would behoove city staffers and other folks to pay particularly close attention to the Succumbe Lake Park area, and especially one vacant lot in particular to the northwest of the park directly. It's not the vacant lot that's completely open to Waterman Avenue. It's the one that has the fence. I don't know if that property is owned by the cemetery, but there are a lot of people living there, and I would not want to be one of the families that might have a family member where folks are living there. I wouldn't want to go to sleep at night knowing somebody could be living on top of my deceased relative. So I behoove folks to pay a lot of close attention to that area in particular. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
I'll make it short. We need to make sure we monitor these landlords. Like Mr. Lee, he don't need to be with this program. Don't have Mr. Lee down here trying to apply for this program. He don't need to be part of this program. We need to monitor these landlords because we have a lot of slum landlords in San Bernardino, and that's why the crime rate goes up, because these slum landlords allow certain things to happen, you know, and then it makes Chief's job harder. So we can just cut the BS, monitor these landlords from the gate, and then it won't be no issue. And then another thing too, it seemed like it's a cool program, but eventually we need to get more creative on dealing with the homeless. This is California. We're always going to have homeless. That's just my personal opinion. Homeless anywhere else, they die. Chicago, they're freezing to death. New York, they're freezing to death. So California, they always going to come. So we always going to have it. But I know at Lake Paris, when you're going to the lake, it's little houses in a large area. We need to come up with something like that, where it's just little small houses where, you know, homeless people can live in those small little houses. I think that will probably help a lot. It'll probably save a lot of money. You know, we have a grant team, see if we can get the grants, talk to the county, see what land the county has, what buildings the county has. You know, county and the city needs to start working together as one, and that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Any more speakers?
That concludes the public comments.
Thank you. The public hearing is now closed at 5:45 p.m. I believe we have Councilmember Ortiz, followed by Councilmember Sanchez, who would like to speak on the item.
So thank you. And I appreciate Les's comments as well. So Director Cersei, What are the reporting mechanisms for us? It really is important as we, and I think Councilwoman Ibarra has said this over time, is as we give money, what is most important is that accountability for how the money is spent, how people are treated with dignity, and how their living conditions. So what kind of expectation do we and the public have to, for accountability, follow-up?
Yeah, so audits will be conducted regularly. The subcontractor will be responsible for monthly reports to the city, and then the landlords will have to participate in, I guess you can call it an MDT, a multidisciplinary team meeting, only because we know that we're going to be dealing with individuals, some of whom have been chronically homeless, some who are dealing with underlying conditions, mental health, substance use disorder, there are going to be some issues there. The one thing that we are asking the landlords to do is that if the minute that there is an issue, to report it to the subcontractor, who can go ahead and make note of that and try to help mitigate those factors. But the bottom line is that, yeah, there are monthly auditing and reports that have to be submitted to us and introduced to the county's HMIS and CES system.
And then will you be able to provide us, I don't know what the council would even want, like monthly or a bi-month or a quarterly report so that we know what's going on?
We absolutely could. We could do it in the form of a memo. It doesn't have to be anything formal like this, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Sanchez?
Move to approve.
Thank you. There's already a motion by Councilmember Sanchez and seconded by Councilmember Canas. Madam City Clerk, please read the votes. Make sure you press the digital votes on the screen.
The motion passes unanimous.
Thank you. We will now move on to item number 5, public hearing on annexation number 49 to Community Facilities District 2019-1 Maintenance Services, Walt EV in the Ward 3. The public hearing to consider annexation proceedings and elections for City of San Bernardino Community Facilities District number 2019-1 Maintenance Services, annexation number 49 is now open. The time is 5:47 p.m. Any council members wish to hear the staff report?
Waive reading the staff report.
Thank you. Madam City Clerk, do we have any written protests?
We have 0 written protests, but we do have 1 public comment.
Okay.
Sorry, for less.
I don't know if I can get this question answered, but when they say levy taxes, is the community being taxed or is the business being taxed, that extra tax? Okay, that's all.
Yes, Councilmember Ortiz.
Can you just explain it real quick to make sure that it's not coming from the taxpayers, it's levied right on that facilities district?
So thank you, Councilmember. Actually, we actually have the consultant here for you if we hear the full presentation. But to be brief, it is not a tax that's being paid by the taxpayers or the residents of San Bernardino. It's a special tax district that's actually placed on the property owner in this case.
Thank you. Madam City Clerk, are there any further protests, written protests?
We have 0 written protests.
Okay. Madam City Clerk, are there any persons registered to vote within annexation number 49 of Community Facilities District number 2019-1? If so, how many registered voters are there?
The County of San Bernardino Register of Voters has certified that there are 0 registered voters within annexation number 49 of Community Facilities District 2019-1.
Thank you. I now declare the public hearing closed, the time being 5:49 p.m. There was a motion to adopt Resolution 2025-232 for tax zone number 29 by Councilmember Sanchez. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Councilmember Ortiz, seconded. Madam City Clerk?
So for the CFDs, we'll be taking voice votes for each.
Thank you.
Councilmember Sanchez?
Yes.
Councilmember Ibarra?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Figueroa?
Yes.
Councilmember Charette? Yes. Councilmember Canas?
Yes.
Councilmember Flores?
Yes.
Councilmember Ortiz?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimous. Sorry. The official ballot has been open and all votes are in favor of the proposition presented on the ballot, and the election is now closed.
Thank you. May I have a motion to adopt Resolution 2025-233 for tax zone number 29? Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
There's a motion by Councilmember
Second.
Sanchez, seconded by Councilmember Ortiz. Madam City Clerk?
Councilmember Sanchez?
Yes.
Councilmember Ibarra?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Figueroa?
Yes.
Councilman Charette? Councilmember Canas?
Yes.
Councilmember Flores?
Yes.
Councilmember Ortiz?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimous.
Thank you. I would now ask for a motion to waive further reading and introduce by title only ordinance number MC 1650. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
There's a motion by Councilmember Sanchez,
Second.
seconded by Councilmember Ortiz. Madam City Clerk, please read the title of the ordinance into the record.
Okay. Ordinance number MC 1650 of the Mayor and City Council of the City of San Bernardino, California, amending ordinance number MC 1522 and levying special taxes to be collected during fiscal year 2024-2025 to pay annual cost of the maintenance and servicing of lighting, street, and trail maintenance, and a reserve fund for capital replacement and administrative expenses with respect to the City of San Bernardino Community Facilities District Number 2019-1 Maintenance Services.
Thank you. Can you take the voice votes?
Councilmember Sanchez?
Yes.
Councilmember Ibarra?
Yes.
Councilmember Figueroa?
Yes.
Councilmember Charette? Yes. Councilmember Canas?
Yes.
Councilmember Flores?
Yes.
Councilmember Ortiz?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimous.
Thank you. Thank you, Council. Moving on to the last public hearing, item number 6, public hearing on annexation number 50 to Community Facilities District 2019-1, Maintenance Services, Chipotle, Ward 1. Yes, did you?
Can I waive the presentation?
Sorry, Mayor, can you
You guys
open
need-
the,
We have to open
Oh,
the
I'm s-
hearing, hear protests, and then we can close and then deliberate.
Thank you, Councilmember. The public hearing to consider amendment proceedings and elections for City of San Bernardino Community Facilities District Number 2019-1, Maintenance Services Annexation Number 50 is now open. The time is 5:52 p.m. Any council members wish to hear the staff report?
Waive.
There's a motion to waive. Do any council members have any questions or comments? Seeing none. We will now receive comments, protests, and questions from any persons in the audience who wish to speak on this matter. Each person may address the City Council for a maximum of 3 minutes. Madam City Clerk, do you have any?
we have one request to speak, Les.
I did hear, never mind. Is that correct?
That
Okay,
concludes
there's
it.
no, okay, thank you. So you have 0. Madam City Clerk, are there any persons registered to vote within annexation number 50 of Community Facilities District Number 2019-1? If so, how many registered voters are there?
Okay, I'm sorry, we have 0 written protests, and the County of San Bernardino Register of Voters has certified that there are 0 registered voters within annexation number 50 of Community Facilities District Number 2019-1.
Thank you. I now declare the public hearing closed at 5:53 p.m. May I have a motion to adopt Resolution 2025-230 for tax zone number 29?
Move to approve.
There's a motion.
I second.
There's a second. Madam City Clerk, please call for the votes.
Councilmember Sanchez?
Yes.
Councilmember Ibarra?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Figueroa?
Yes.
Councilmember Charette? Yes. Councilmember Canas?
Yes.
Councilmember Flores?
Yes.
Councilmember Ortiz?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimous. The official ballot has been open, and all votes are in favor of the proposition presented on the ballot, and the election is now closed.
Thank you. Thank you, Council. May I have a motion to adopt Resolution 2025-231 for tax zone number 29? Is there a motion?
Move.
Thank
Second.
you, Councilmember Sanchez. Thank you, Councilmember Flores, for the second. Madam City Clerk, please take the vote.
Councilmember Sanchez?
Yes.
Councilmember Ibarra?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Figueroa?
Yes.
Councilmember Charette? Yes. Councilmember Canas?
Yes.
Councilmember Flores?
Yes.
Councilmember Ortiz?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimous.
Thank you. Thank you, Council. I would now ask for a motion to waive further reading and introduce by title only ordinance number MC 1649. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Thank you, Councilmember Sanchez. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Ortiz. Madam City Clerk, please read the title of the ordinance into the record.
Ordinance number MC 1649 of the Mayor and City Council of the City of San Bernardino, California, amending ordinance number MC 1522 and levying special taxes to be collected during fiscal year 2024-2025 to pay annual costs and a reserve fund for capital replacement and administrative expenses with respect to the City of San Bernardino Community Facilities District number 2019-1 maintenance services.
Thank you. Madam City Clerk, please call for the votes.
Councilmember Sanchez?
Yes.
Councilmember Ibarra?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Figueroa?
Yes.
Councilmember Charette? Yes. Councilmember Canas?
Yes.
Councilmember Flores?
Yes.
Councilmember Ortiz?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimous.
Thank you so much. Thank you, council. We will now move on to city manager update. Before we go there, I'd just like to make a really quick, brief comment. I just got news that our former acting city manager has been appointed to city manager of Barstow, so I just want to congratulate you. I see you in the audience. Congratulations for being the city manager of City of Barstow. Loss for us, but gain for Barstow. So thank you for all your service that you have given to the city of San Bernardino. Thank you. Yes.
I would like to also thank you for your service and time. It's not always easy, and I appreciate everybody that steps up to the plate for the city of San Bernardino. And I absolutely know that your effect and reach in this city is going to be long-lasting, and the level of integrity and camaraderie you brought is really, it's going to be hard to replace. So thank you, and I wish you the best of luck in all of your ventures. We were lucky to have you. Thank you.
Thank you. And now, city manager update, please.
Yes, thank you, Mayor, members of the council. I would like to invite Public Information Officer Jeff Cross up to provide this report.
Thank you, Ms. Romo. Good evening, Honorable Mayor and City Council members. I have a brief City Manager's report of some ongoing activities and events and accomplishments in the city. First, last Friday, the city launched its Love Your Block initiative. These are a series of mini grants in partnership with the Bloomberg Center that will go to neighborhood groups, students and student organizations, and civic groups to organize resident-led community improvement projects such as local art projects and community cleanups. The grants or the awards will range between $1,000 and $5,000, and the amounts will be determined by a Shark Tank-like presentation in which not only is a proposal presented, but they're graded on how much they love their block. We have two individuals from the Economic Development Department here with us who can answer questions, or you can go to the city's website to learn more about Love Your Block mini grants, as well as to apply for the grants. The grants are open through the end of March, and as I said, $1,000 to $5,000 for local arts and cleanup. So we're looking forward and very excited about this program. We have a number of local businesses to celebrate. Just in the past 2 weeks, My Dentist on D Street celebrated its 25th anniversary in the city of San Bernardino. We want to pass along our congratulations to Dr. Sanjay Patel on his quarter century of success. Over on Hospitality Lane, the Bear and Konos Coffee Shop held its grand opening last week, and we'd like to congratulate owner Kunal Singh for his hard work and dedication and commitment to San Bernardino. This is the first business he's ever opened, and is a very excited new business owner. And finally, this past Sunday, 10-8 Tactical on Kendall Drive celebrated its grand opening, and I'd like to congratulate its owner, Angie Cortez, who is also a San Bernardino Police Department officer. So congratulations to Angie, and welcome and congratulations to those three businesses. A couple weeks ago, the Inland Empire magazine held its Reader's Choice Best of the Inland Empire Awards, and we are pleased to report that the San Bernardino's own California Theater, a property that we own, was voted by the readers as the best performing arts venue. And it covers all of Inland Empire and even goes into parts of LA County. So we're very proud that the California Theater was recognized by the readers of the Inland Empire. And I have some more news about the California Theater. The California Theater renovation has begun, and we started with the theater's original Wurlitzer pipe organ, which has been undergoing a major refurbishment. It's one of only a few Wurlitzer organs left, and the 216 pipe organ was installed when the theater first opened in 1928. If you look at, well, the theater will be closed in a couple months between June and October for renovations, and these are major renovations which include the installation of a new sound system, lighting and electrical upgrades, new carpeting, marquee upgrades, ADA improvements, heating and air conditioning, the remodeling of the bar, and more. I'd like to point out the photo on the right of the screen. This is what the Wurlitzer organ recently looked like, and you know, it's classic and it's priceless, but it was definitely showing its age of being 97 years old. I just received a couple days ago a couple pictures of what the Wurlitzer looks like today, and you can see that the job that they have done in restoring and cleaning it up is simply amazing. So we're very excited to have the Wurlitzer back in a newly renovated California Theater, and hope to defend our title as the Performing Arts Venue of the Year from Inland Empire Magazine. I have a Mount Vernon Bridge update. You know, it's coming. It's coming so much, we can taste it. You know, when they put those posts in, we're going, oh, it's never gonna end. And then they cross the span and we're going, oh, it's never gonna finish. Well, this very morning, there were a row of cement trucks, and the false work is there, the rebar is there, and they started paving the road spanning the bridge, which is a major milestone. It's a $244 million project, and it is still on track to open this summer. So we're very excited. The people on the west side have been very patient, and it is a key connector, and we're glad that it's almost there, but a major milestone started this morning. Speaking of projects, and we're going to have a lot of projects coming up. We have projects at Gutierrez Park, at Guadalupe Park, at Nicholson Park, and it just goes on, the Spiker Park, the Spiker Skate Park, and it just goes on and on. We have an announcement about Seckham Lake Park. The council approved a $13.8 million renovation of Seckham Lake Park, a lot of it ARPA money, also from the San Manuel Band of Mission Indians. That project is starting on March 3rd. It is such a comprehensive project that we are going to have to close Seckham Lake Park, and it will be closed for approximately 1 year. We're sorry to see it taken offline, but much like Nicholson Park, which is about to finish, it's going to be transformed. And I've got a small list of some of the projects that are going to be done to the 44-acre park, and it's pretty much everything. There's going to be a restoration of the lake, new landscaping, irrigation, renovation of the gazebo, basketball courts, lighting, concrete walking paths, restoration of the island, new playground equipment with large shade sails, upgrades to the dog park, repaving of the parking lot, new fishing stations around the lake, drinking fountains, trash enclosures, and the installation of palm tree solar lighting. It is we're going to get quite a bit for our $13.8 million, and what has been our crown jewel of our park system will once again be in about a year. So March 3rd is when the park will close for about a year, but it will be worth it when it's done. And finally, coming up on February 28th, the Del Rosa Post Office will be renamed in honor of longtime San Bernardino resident, community leader, and champion of education, Dr. Margaret Hill. As I said, the ceremony will take place at 11 a.m. on Friday, February 28th, and the renaming was approved by an act. You know, when you say it's going to take an act of Congress to get this done, it took an act of Congress to get this done, and it was signed by President Biden back in November of 2024. So hopefully everyone will be out there to rededicate the post office in Dr. Hill's name. And with that, that concludes my report.
Thank you, thank you. Excellent update. And I just want to share that I want to give a big shout out to the San Bernardino County Transportation Authority on the Mount Vernon Bridge. That is a huge effort by that organization, which is the makeup of elected officials throughout the county. And I sit on that board, and that was huge. So for it to be completed this year, that is huge win for the city. And not only that, I know they're planning to, before they open the bridge, is to have a huge ceremony on that bridge before it's officially open. So excited to share that so we can all celebrate before it's open. Councilman Ortiz, did you have a comment?
I did real quick. I just wanted to, thank the existing council members up here and the staff for all of the park renovations. This was approved a while ago, and now seeing this stuff come to fruition and all of your hard work in getting Nicholson and Gutierrez and Succumbia and everything moving, like that's really, after the bankruptcy and sitting for low key for a decade, watching our city come alive in park and recreation is so huge. So just thank you guys so much for all that you're doing and keeping up with. So,
thank you. We would now move on to public comments. At this time, public comments will be heard on the open session and items not on the agenda. To address the city council, everyone must complete a speaker card and provide it to the city clerk. Only those speaker cards turned into the city clerk will be allowed to address the city council. No late cards will be accepted. Each person should state their name for the record. Once again, if you require Spanish interpretation, we do have an interpreter on site. Please raise your hand at this time to indicate whether you need interpreting assistance. In addition, we have interpreting listening devices available in the back.
En este momento se escucharán los comentarios públicos para artículos de la agenda y artículos que no están en la agenda. Para dirigirse al Consejo Municipal, cada individuo debe completar una tarjeta de orador. Se debe completar la tarjeta de orador y entregarla a la Secretaría Municipal en este momento. Solo aquellas tarjetas de orador entregadas a la Secretaría Municipal podrán dirigirse al Consejo Municipal. No se aceptarán tarjetas tardías. Cada persona debe indicar su nombre para el registro. Si necesita interpretación en español, tenemos un intérprete presente. Por favor, levante la mano en este momento para indicar que requiere servicios. También tenemos aparatos disponibles para escuchar la Junta en español.
Thank you. Gracias. Madam City Clerk, how many speakers do we have tonight?
We have 23 speakers.
Great, thank you. And then please call up their names. Each speaker will have 3 minutes.
Beatriz Vasquez, John Schollenberger, Al Palazzo, Mike Hartley, Luis Ojeda.
Thank you. Please state your name for the record.
John Schollenberger. I want to speak to the evaluation of the city attorney. While I appreciate how well everyone is getting along, I feel a big part of that is because Councilmember Ortiz has now been elected, and you all have no option but to do the right thing or be held accountable, as she's promised in her inauguration speech. City Attorney Carvalho knew what was at stake the day that Councilmember Ortiz was elected, and at the December 4th meeting, Sonia approached us back there during a break and engaged in conversation with us. Sonia brought up how much she appreciated how Councilmember Ortiz had fought for the city these past 5 years and wanted to work with her, but felt that there was unresolved issues between them. To which Dr. Ortiz responded that Sonia was correct, and that started the day that Sonia publicly called Dr. Ortiz a liar and said Dr. Ortiz fabricated things against the council and the city attorney. Just so everybody recalls, Dr. Ortiz was referring to the June 5th council meeting when she called out Sonia for knowing about the letter of engagement between Stifel and Charles Montoya for the bonding of City Hall, which Dr. Ortiz and Barbara Whitehorn, who was fired, warned our community would put the city into hundreds of millions of dollars in debt it could not afford. And Dr. Ortiz told Sonia that Sonia only thought she could call Treasurer a liar because Sonia did not know that Dr. Ortiz had received Sonia's emails via a public records request, showing Sonia and another BB&K attorney signed off on the letter of intent and had meetings with Stifel and Charles Montoya. After Councilmember Ortiz finished explaining the unresolved issue, Sonia looked at the both of us and she said, "Dr. Ortiz, you're absolutely right, and I profoundly apologize." Sonia also added that the council was responsible for a majority of the litigation in this city. While I appreciate Sonia apologizing to Treasurer, I want the public and council to know we have an attorney who will attack and fabricate publicly if she believes no one can gain access to the truth or her emails, which in my view is just as much of a problem for litigation in addition to what the council does. And I feel that this should be added to her evaluation, as well as the situation that BB&K put us into with the ACLU and the injunction to address homelessness. Council, I compel you to evaluate BB&K thoroughly as to the terms of their contract and assess whether or not, if in the last 6 years, they have reduced our exposure to litigation or have they just caused more. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
My name is Al Palazzo. I'm surprised. What I prepared today, I'm not going to say. I want to be city manager. For the next, every 2 weeks, I'm going to be here asking you on the dais to give me the opportunity to explain to you what I would do as city manager. And I wouldn't accept 1 penny more than what the mayor makes. So the difference could go to youth programs. I'm not in it for the money. I have a pension. I developed 50 years ago, it took me 10 years to develop a thorough vision for this city based on the work that I was doing as a deputy assessor for the 7 cities in the western end of the county for 35 years. All that development you see out there was my responsibility to evaluate for those cities. We need a city manager that will rebuild this city. Let me share my ideas. I guarantee you, invite me to your churches, to your organizations, to your communities. You've never heard people talk about these ideas because the problem is you're dealing with bureaucrats. I was a bureaucrat. I worked for government. We need a city manager that can think outside the box with bold ideas. I'm a capitalist. I don't believe you need government money to do everything, but I would be the city manager empowering the people in this city. First of all, explaining how we can build affordable housing. Young people today can't afford these houses, these new tract homes in Fontana. I have 1,000 ideas for 1,000 blocks. I don't have time, but it's going to be fun, this dance that we're going to do, because in the last 2 years, I have reached out to 4 city managers, and none of them have allowed me to share my ideas. There are 3 people on the dais who have taken my vision tour. 1 or 2 more, we might have a majority. 2 of you took it a long time ago. Let's get serious. Let's rebuild this city. And if you think you can find somebody better qualified, I would support that person. But find me a place at the table, because that person needs somebody like me to expand their way of looking at how we can turn this city around. I grew up in San Bernardino. My time is going to be up pretty soon. But I'm going to be here every 2 weeks, and I'm asking you, I'm begging you. You got churches, you got organizations. My council member, invite me to your community.
Thank you so much.
Well, now my new council member, you took my tour.
Thank you.
Well, it says I have, okay.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker, please state your name.
Mike Hartley. I think it's great beautifying the city of San Bernardino, but after we do that, who's going to take care of it? You guys have all the parks you're doing. Who's going to take care of it? We don't have anybody to take care of it. You guys spent $2 million on the beautification of Broadmoor. And now I look at the medians on Broadmoor, and it's nothing but dandelions and dead roses and dead flowers. Nobody takes care of it, but we pay somebody to take care of it. It's like the fox is guarding the hen house. and I'm getting tired of it. What really pisses me off the most is when I spend a half a day turning in CRMs and absolutely nothing gets done. Why bother? You guys want to build car washes, dollar stores. I can tell you stories of the slum landlords who take advantage of their tenants. It does no good for them to be turned in the code because nothing is going to get done, and I'm getting tired of coming up here and talking about it. I am really getting tired. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker?
Georgia L., Robert Bailey, Christian Shaughnessy, Angela Wilkinson, Junior Carrillo.
Turn on your mic, please. Thank you.
Hello, council members. Mayor Helen Tran. Pleased to be here. I'm actually from Colton, California. I'm a board member of the Colton Area Museum. So I just want to let the city residents know, since the renovation in February 2023, the museum is open Fridays and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So we invite the residents of the city of San Bernardino to come and visit the history of the city of Colton, learn about the 10 freeway, learn about Hoover Dam, LA Coliseum, and LA City Hall. Also, we have the Earps, as you know, as in Tombstone. So we're inviting everyone to come and visit. Also, I wanted to let you know, also I'm volunteering with KVCR. KVCR is having Teen Weeks of Film, and I have left a flyer for on the table out front there, so I will leave another one. Also, I just want to mention that Samuel donated $1.5 million to the Native American Indians, and you can scan the back of it for the programming. So you're welcome to do that. And also, KVCR is having a kids camp, PBS Kids Camp. And you can RSVP at kvcr.org/kids camp. So I just want to let you know, invite everyone. Come on, residents, come see what the museum is all about. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Good evening, Council. My name is Georgia. First, I want to speak on the city manager debacle. I saw a newspaper article talking about the voting against her because of some $17 million that was returned. And I think that there was a presentation to explain why that happened. And basically, we were told that we wouldn't have the funding, or because we're already pretty much bankrupt, but we wouldn't have the funding to continue the wraparound services, which made sense to me. So if you guys can clarify why you did what you did, that would be great. Also, any candidates that want to work for a corrupt city should never mention the words forensic audit, obviously. On this agenda, we have $5,000 coming from Best Friends Animal Society to pay for entry fees for our staff to attend their convention. For what? We're already short-staffed. Who's going to man and take care of the animals while all these people are over there gallivanting for an organization that has created this crisis on our streets, by the way? Their leader over there has contributed to the crisis we are dealing with on our streets. So recently, I shared a video that was from the local news station showing the treatment and how our animal control officers stuff animals, lift them up by the neck and stuff them into the trucks. We have brand new trucks. Why weren't they fitted with ramps? And why don't we have slings to pick them up from the rear end of their bodies, so we're not hanging them and terrorizing them before they come into our shelter. This is why they're scared, because of the treatment, which is not recommended by the National Animal Control Association, the way that they're loading these poor animals. So I also want to know, why is our deputy director present during the euthanasia? Is it she likes to wrap their noses, their snouts with the leashes? Yeah, your name is all over it, Jasmine. And they don't sedate these dogs, okay? And I want to know why. We need to know, and we want a response from Animal Services why they're doing this to our animals, okay? And then last, Council Member Sanchez, at the will of the people of San Bernardino, I am here to serve you with recall papers. If you have any honor and respect for your constituents, you will come and take this from me. Don't run. Please come and take it. You're being served. Come on. No?
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank
I
you.
tried.
Next
Thank you.
Next speaker, please state your name.
I'm wearing my work shirt, so I apologize in advance. My public comment won't be nearly as exciting as that one. But anyway, so with regards to the Navigation Center that I talked about during the closed session public comment, well, with the city manager issues that are going on at the current moment, if there's anything that you folks would want the community to do, or Family Assistance Program or other nonprofits to do that could help ensure the Navigation Center is on time with the around year and a half estimate that was given some time back, it's something we would mightily appreciate. It's something that really means a lot to the unhoused young people and the unhoused folks in the city in general. It's something that saves lives, and it's something that's very personal to me because as a person that does youth coordinated entry system for the county, I do a weekly report on the number of unhoused young people, 16 to 24 we have in the city of San Bernardino, and that we have in the various regions. So I know the number when it goes up, I know when it goes down. Sometimes it goes down because people pass. Sometimes it goes down because they overdose. Sometimes it goes down for other reasons. But it's behind every number, there's a face, there's a personality, there's a human being that unfortunately left this life. And so anything that the community can do to ensure that Navigation Center gets through, please let us know. We are here to help. We want to be collaborative, ensure that gets done. And then going to a point that Mike Hartley actually made earlier before with Second Lake Park. I vaguely remember there being some money apportioned to have a security guard protecting Second Lake Park, something akin to that. Nods, head shakes, I don't see, but I vaguely remember something about that. Would that security contract or provisioning of money continue to protect the park while it's being renovated? Because if it's not, a lot of things will simply be stolen and it'll lead to the park restoration taking even longer. Sometimes things in the city are stolen that don't even make any sense. It's not even copper wire. I can speak for, the center I work at, it would amaze you the things that are stolen. So with that being the case, please continue to keep the community well updated on this. We have movements for change in the city, of course, and let's ensure that the right thing gets done. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember?
Christian Shaughnessy, and community as well, I want you to know that, I chair our council ad hoc committee, and Sandra and Councilwoman Ibarra and Councilman Sanchez are on this as well. And this is the Navigation Center as well for the rest of the council is a priority to make sure that this is coming. And I understand the fear with the transition of administration, but this is not, we have not lost sight, and this is a constant conversation for us. So please be assured in that we have not lost sight of our duty and our desire to house. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Yes, it is a priority. Next speakers?
Luis Ojeda, Beatriz Vasquez, Robert Bailey, Junior Carrillo, Selena, Eric Marquez, Arthur Anderson, David Friedman, Sharon Negretti.
If you hear your name, please come up to the podium. Thank you.
Selena. I have not been here since the new council have been appointed, and with good reason. I spent last year coming to every meeting possible to speak for the animals, which fell on deaf ears, and it becomes emotionally draining and very discouraging. The facade of San Bernardino City Shelter, brought to you by the director, has made it almost impossible to get the real truth out and this place investigated all around, while they feed you the stats and the info that they want, all while the real issues, such as the attacks, euthanizations, unaltered animals being adopted out, get swept under the rug and not brought up at all unless we come up here and we speak directly to you. A572882, Betty, shelter greeter dog, lost her life after sustaining major injuries in a kennel fight. Think about it. A dog that was chosen for an important role for the shelter to be the face of the dogs was attacked and then had to be euthanized, so no dog is safe. A574412, female senior, injured after an attack by 2 kennel mates, lasted several minutes, and she never fought back. Networkers pleaded for rescue since she was now medically tagged. A575045, a stray brought in weighing only 68 pounds, then just 4 days losing 7 pounds. How are they being fed exactly? With resource guarding and daily common attacks, how are they surviving? Well, to no surprise at all, I'm going to report to you that this same dog who lost weight also was attacked, pinned down, crying, sustaining injuries from bites to its neck, its face, and its ears. Ash and Angus, confiscated case brought into San Bernardino City Shelter, both gendered as males. They were thankfully rescued, which it was then discovered that one was a female. I brought this up several times last year with the prime example of using Councilman Ibarra when you adopted your pet and it was also misgendered. What do you think about that? Why is this still happening? As simple as just checking to see if there's balls down there. Too hard, I guess. I know most of you don't care, but the shelter is a part of San Bernardino City. So it's your job to step up and do something. Otherwise, why are you even up there? All around, doesn't matter what ward, we're all supposed to work together. So please, give us a break here. Make it so that we can trust you, that you guys also care and will investigate. And not just show up to the shelter for a photo op, for their little events that they have. Actually investigate the situations that happen, especially with the one that's gonna be spoken about is a Potato in that situation. 9 seconds, a dog that was labeled fearful and on its last day rescued, and only to the volunteers, they actually are a great dog. They deserve the chance, but they be killed every single time.
Thank you. Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Is this working? Hello, my name is Eric Marquez. It is a pleasure to speak before all of you today. I have spoken here before on personal matters, so I will be speaking on something more structured today. Depression. I have suffered with depression, and still do. It feels like there's been no feeling of hope and just an unending feeling of hopelessness, even if it was in my resource to improve it. It feels like there is no point to the world, and you long for your absence from it. I personally have spent days just staying in bed, crying out for the feeling to just stop, crushing my nails, hoping it would distract me from how I feel. But with time and effort, I have come to improve myself and find joy and friendship and what small fragments of community I can find hope in. The way I see our city is in its own depression. There are parts of us that don't want or do want new harmful behavior. But I want everyone to know they are not alone. And we continue. We will never be hopeless. And we can leave this depression together. And there's 57 seconds left. I would like to give my time to the people behind me.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Hello, my name is David Friedman. I want to thank all of the city council members for taking on the difficult task of leading our beautiful city. Now, people keep telling me to focus on taking positive action in San Bernardino. And we are. Look at all of the good we have done in the community. In December, Viva La Boba gave away 100 fruit trees for free to community members. My company, Realicor, has fixed up enough dilapidated buildings in downtown to rent out spaces to 30-plus new small businesses, nonprofits, and artists. The $720,000 grant that we helped the city to obtain to reimagine a dilapidated alley in downtown proves that we can be a good partner to the city and vice versa. So when people tell me this recall is negative, I say to them, when you have a serious ailment, what do? You don't just eat fruits and berries, hold hands, and sing Kumbaya. You go to the doctor, you see a professional, and you treat it. Ignoring the issue doesn't make it go away. Now, originally, I wanted to compare this recall to removing cancer, but I thought that might be rude to cancer patients, so. These days, San Bernardino is on a positive path. It's much better today than when I first came up to speak on this dais about 8 years ago. But this ailment to our downtown still exists. Our civic duty to ensure that the community comes first above all does not go away just because things got a little bit better. If there is one thing you need to know about me and this group that I'm a part of, it's that we keep our word. I have door knocked every single residential house in Ward 1 by myself and with my friends. We keep our word. We will see that this ailment is remedied until we can give the city a clean bill of health. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Ladies and gentlemen, City Council Mayor, my name is Arthur Anderson. I'm director of the nonprofit People of San Bernardino. You've heard a couple people from our organization speak tonight. You can find us online at peopleofsanbernardino.com and the tagline, The People of San Bernardino, on Instagram and Facebook. I'm going to start with the poem. We have changing times in this day and age with federal government and a state government that may or may not be available to our city. So I think this poem is very important for us to remember. First, they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the unions, and they did not speak out because I was not in a union. Then they came for the Jews, and they did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me, by Pastor Martin Muller, a post-World War II. We want to remember this poem because in this changing world, we need to focus on our community. And the community is not being heard. For Ward 1, Councilmember Sanchez, voters in your community didn't participate in your elections. You won on a primary and a non-presidential race with only 800 people who voted for you. If so few people voted for you, who are you representing? Do you care about the community when they didn't elect you? How did you win? You don't represent the average voter in your ward, and I have the signatures to prove that. Usually when I knock on a door for a council member or a mayor, I get pushback, either supporting the incumbent or even a conversation about the person that I'm speaking on. But in your case, 9 out of 10 voters I spoke with signed the petition without the intent, without hesitation. The only objections were those that didn't want to support out of apathy. You have powerful backers that insist that you work this out with our committee. You have met with member after member, supporter of this recall, supporters of the recall, and you've heard our demands. Create a homeless committee. Make yourself available to small businesses and residences of your ward. Improve public infrastructure in your ward. Cannabis license reform. Support CBAs. And professionally conduct yourself at these meetings, among 10 and many other items. Unfortunately, repeatedly after these meetings, you revert back to yourself. Those who support you and keep setting up these meetings must know that you do not represent the people in your ward. You don't represent the people of San Bernardino. You only have support from the powerful interest groups with their financial backing, but no one outside of your circle wants you here. We need to come together, and the only way we could be a self-sustaining city is if we have functioning city council. And we are serving you with the intent to recall. You don't have to accept it by hand. You could accept it when it arrives in your mail. We would prefer that you accept it by hand so that you can see that we really mean this, and this is coming from your community. I challenge you to win. A recall is what it is. It will be you against the people and those that run against you. And we're going to find out. Do you think your community stands by you? You can reach us at sanbernardino.com or the People of San Bernardino on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Hello, my name is Sharon Negretti. You know, we come up here every time there's a city council meeting, we tell you things about what's going on at the shelter. And do you think we're lying? It's one thing right after the other. There's no investigation, nothing. You know, my father used to always say, what you don't stop, he used to say, what you don't stop, you encourage. The silence from this city council is deafening. The repeated reports of atrocities, the documented evidence, the sheer volume of animal deaths, all ignored. Nobody does anything about it. And you believe these two people? It's one thing right after that. We have proof. We have proof of what's going on there. You know, this is just so ridiculous. This is how you guys got the name, this city has gotten the name of the worst managed city, okay? Because of you. They are euthanizing animals without sedating them first. Do you guys realize what those animals suffer through? They know they're gonna die. It's horrible for them. So they suffer in the shelter, then they euthanize them without sedating them. You mean to tell me you can't supply a little bit more money? I mean, actually they have enough, but what's going on with you? Are you just ignoring that? Are you aware that back last October, several animals were electrocuted? Do you guys know about that? If you don't, that's because they didn't tell you about it. But they were electrocuted. Somebody flipped the wrong switch. Why aren't they labeled? Really? You know, that's not it. That's not the only thing, but that whole video, we have it, you can see it, where they are putting these animals in the truck, hanging by the neck, and they are banging against the side of their trucks, and they keep shoving them in. It is brutal. Brutal. And this thing with Potato. This is a mistaken identity, I guarantee you. And if you get the truth from animal control, when they put that stray dog in their truck, he growled. Potato didn't growl. That stray did. And guess what? That stray is up for adoption right now. Do you realize you're putting if somebody adopts that dog and that dog is the one, they're going to get bit.
Thank you. Thank you. Madam City Clerk?
Lydia Savala, Travis Townsend.
Can you repeat the names? I think the clap.
Sure. Lydia Savala, Travis Townsend, Tammy Valdivia, Emily Pena, Tiana Lopez, Stephanie Linfetzi, Angela Pena, and Les.
I'd like to
First of all, good afternoon to the mayor, Mayor Tran, all the council. I'm not a public speaker. I am a slumlord, not by choice. God knows I put a lot of effort in maintaining the property that we have. It's basically been overtaken. I had a brother live there, a father that died back south. I go back to 1978. So when 210 came, we got displaced. I'm not going into all that. But you figure I've been living here all my life. 72, went to Fort Busson. I've watched this city evolve. Gentrification. I come back. But I guess what disappoints me now is I've not tried to fall into the pit of being a slumlord. Where I live in Sacramento, I've stayed in my neighborhood for 32 years, same house since I left San Bernardino. And it's a hood I've watched Crips, Bloods go through, just like here. Stayed there. Now my neighborhood, just me being there. Bunch of old ladies, I empty the garbage cans. My street is beautiful. We do a neighborhood, we take care of it, just like a lot of people have spoken here. I'm retired. Department of Corrections, did 30 years. Go online, I served on the board. When we put an R in rehabilitation, I was on the first board. So it's difficult being you guys. But my parents, my father died, mother's aging. I kind of inherited this problem. So my brother moves out after his wife dies. We get all these vagrants that basically moved in, took over. I came down here, spent a whole day at City Hall doing everything. Who can I talk to? Couldn't get these people out. Come back now, and I know my 3 minutes is up in a little bit. I come back now. Yesterday, I was there all day changing everything in. Code charged me. I called Code because I went through the legal process of getting a lawyer. I'm spending thousands of dollars on this lawyer. I'm retired. I'm in a hotel right now. But I have to wait this whole process. 30 days I give them, which was a makeshift, go to Home Depot or whatever this place is, business staplers, do a 30-day thing. I tell these people we need to move. They've torn the house up, toilet, bathroom, wrecked. I put all money out of my personal 401 into bringing it up, trying to approve them, trying to let them stay because they pulled their aging mother from the convalescent hospital. Didn't charge them really anything, $400. Now it's a year later. I probably put 15 to 20 grand into this house. And then my lawyer tells me to call Code, maybe they could put a block on it.
Thank you. Madam City
I just
Manager,
need somebody
could
that
you
can
have
help me.
staff assist with this gentleman, please?
Anybody that could help me not be a slumlord.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm here.
Sir, we'll have staff follow up with you.
Thank you, and that's all I'm saying.
Thank you.
I hate doing this. I respect what you all are doing. I'm sorry to come in the midst of a city crisis.
Don't apologize. We will
but,
have someone assist you,
I'm
sir.
just, I don't know what
Thank
to
you.
do. Thank you.
Thank
I
you for your
appreciate
time.
it. Thank you for your time. I hope the best San Bernardino. My little homeboy from Coon High School won the Heisman this year. That's a big hoorah, and for all that you guys are doing.
Thank you. Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
My name is Tammy Valdivia. I'm here to discuss the Health and Safety Code 122331 on animals being spayed and neutered before they are leave the shelter. They are not. I have proof. They were sisters. I found her. She's 2 years old. She was adopted from the city of San Bernardino without being spayed. She's had a litter of puppies. She was in heat, and she looks like this. And this is unacceptable. This is why we have the problem we do, because they're releasing these animals without being spayed or neutered, and there's no consequences. I will quote verbatim what he told me, that they said to him that it's your choice if you want to get your animals, to get them fixed. And they were happy because they did not want the females fixed. And now we have, that I know, have had 2 more dogs on the street having puppies. And I know there's hundreds and thousands of more that are out there that are not getting fixed before they leave the shelter. And it states that it's a mandated state law that they are spayed and neutered before they leave the shelters or in rescue groups. And San Bernardino is not following the law. And you guys are allowing it. Because it's against the law. It's been implicated on the law books. So there's a problem. When I find a dog looking like this in heat with 2 other male dogs following her, I have a problem with it. And I'm sure a lot of other people would have a problem with it. When you see a dog starving to death. I had to give her back to the owner because she was microchipped to the city of San Bernardino. She has not been licensed for 2 years because she's not spayed. So nobody's checking on anybody. Who's checking to make sure that these animals are fixed when they leave the shelter with a certificate of $75 deposit? Big deal. How many people are out there checking and making sure that they do get fixed? If you looked at the law, then you would see what the laws say about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
My name is Tiana Lopez, and I'm here with Dreamland Arts and Community, and I'm here to continue my conversation with Councilman Theodore Sanchez about how we can use your 5 priorities to make my vision come to life. So what my mission is to bring over 100 local artists into downtown San Bernardino. And like I shared last time, the biggest obstacle I'm facing is the very, very, very poor condition of the space I'm trying to get into. And so it seems that I have had a lot more support from private sectors in trying to make amendments and improvements to the space near the Enterprise Building. That little parking structure attached, or what used to be the Carousel Mall, we're really working hard to improve the area, and I need your support. I actually need all of your support is what it's going to come down to. But in order to uplift our community, I think that there is a conversation that needs to be had. So I'm just on the San Bernardino County website, and I just want to pull up your 5 priorities, which is improving public safety, which was a concern I addressed last time, repairing the city streets, which, let's just admit, all of downtown San Bernardino needs some help there, attracting new businesses to create high-paying jobs and opportunity for San Bernardino families. I need help doing that. That is what I'm trying to do, and I'm facing far too much pushback. Reducing homelessness is also very important. It's not about, I appreciate the resources that are going to be offered, and I think that there's a lot of programs that are going to be put in place to assist these people and what they need in their long-term health and assistance. But I do also still need to see that happen. Like, we need to see these things happen. I'm kind of tired of going to work and somebody's peeing on the wall because they don't have a public restroom. Like I said last time, everyone deserves a safe place to use the restroom and wash their hands afterwards. So I would like to do what I can to help the people of my community, but I require your assistance. I would like to extend the offer for you to continue this conversation with me outside of all this and whatever all of this is, so that we can work together to actually make an effort happen quickly. I would actually like to have results. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Les, can we bring back the Zoom public comments? The grant team, they need to write a grant for the City Hall. Jones Elementary, the school right here down the street, there's prostitutes out there selling themselves in front of the elementary school. During recess, children are sitting there watching these prostitutes sell themselves. So please, Theodore Sanchez is in your ward. This school is just right down the street. Go down there, team up with the chief, school police, somebody to stop that. That really needs to stop, for real, because some of those prostitutes probably not even leaving that block and doing what they doing right in front of the children, and that's kind of sick for us to even allow that to be happening. Next thing, when are we going to do a forensic audit from when we went bankrupt to now? That'd be cool to do. It's ironic that the closed session had the evaluation on it. There's a rumor going on with Fred and old man Fred and Theodore. Y'all took the city clerk out for Valentine's dinner. That's a rumor. So y'all might need to watch yourself on that. With the city manager situation, the lady did a good job. Y'all should keep her. But before her, we had a good city manager, African American man. Y'all didn't want him there, want him here. He was asking for help. You guys still didn't want him here. And then the qualified candidate, Mr. Black, you guys sabotaged that man's job. He was the most qualified. You guys didn't hire him. So it's starting to be a little pattern on what kind of city manager you guys want. You guys want the naive, we can control, like Sandra and Juan. You guys kind of control them, so you guys kind of want that. And then the other thing is with Juan's idea, I would like to hear a presentation instead of you guys just voting on the idea. You know, that would be cool for us to hear that. What else? Bring back and yeah, and that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. And sir, the city is moving forward with a forensic audit, just so you know. The forensic audit is moving forward for the city. Thank you. Sir, we are doing that. Next speaker, please state your name.
Hello, Mayor and City Council. My name is Emily Pina, and my husband is Angel. On February 5th, Animal Control came to our home stating that our dog Potato had bitten someone. We were shocked, as Potato is a non-aggressive house dog, and our 1-year-old son even uses him as a pillow. He has never shown aggression despite numerous instances of children playing around him. Potato is only ever outside in our fenced and gated yard to relieve himself. The animal control officers threatened to cite us and told us that we would have to appear in court with fines of $8,000 to $7,000 if we did not sign a surrender form. Frightened and unable to pay that amount, my husband signed. The animal control officer told my husband that he would have to put Potato in their truck. My husband reluctantly put Potato in their truck. Immediately afterwards, we went to the animal control shelter. While there, my sister-in-law informed us that a man was at our house with Potato. Surprised us as Potato was in the shelter. This man claimed our dog had bitten people at the park and said he wouldn't report it to animal control if we had paid him. My sister-in-law, following my instructions, kept the dog in one of our kennels. We contacted animal control explaining the situation. They agreed to collect the dog the following day. Upon their arrival, the officers again insisted that my husband place the stray dog in their truck. He expressed concern and discomfort due to the dog's aggressive behavior, growling and showing teeth when leashed. Despite his apprehension and the officer still insisted, my husband reluctantly started to place the dog in their truck. Then again, the dog growled. The officer secured the dog's muzzle with a leash. That's when my husband continued to place the dog in the truck. I questioned why this fall to my husband and not the animal control officers. The dog was subsequently put up for adoption under the name of Banana, a fact we find irresponsible given the dog's history of biting. Separately, I contacted Jasmine to inquire bringing Potato food. Upon arrival, Jasmine interrogated us about Sharon Negretti, a person entirely unrelated to Potato. This highly uncomfortable questioning made us feel that the food allowance was pretext to investigate Sharon, whom I contacted for help and had no connection to this incident. We are baffled and deeply upset by these events. This is clearly a case of mistaken identity. We believe animal control officers unwilling to acknowledge their error. We insist that Potato is not a threat and is a part of our family. We implore you to prevent his death. Potato does not deserve this. And if any of you guys would like to see photos or videos of Potato with my family, you guys can see me to prove he is not a vicious dog.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Hello, Mayor and City Council. My name is Angel. A lot of people walk up and down through our street daily, and most of them don't seem like they are all there, which is why we brought in our family dog Potato. He brought more than just happiness in our lives. He also brought security and protection. Ever since he came into our lives, we've had no more break-ins, no more homeless digging through our trash and leaving a mess. We haven't had no more homeless sleeping by our gate or loitering over our fence. But now that our gentle giant has been taken away, we don't feel as safe as we used to. There is this huge void in our house, and my 1-year-old, who became his best friend, is always looking for him. My son doesn't have a dog-like pillow to lay with anymore. My son doesn't have his friend laying next to his crib every single night anymore. If you were to see our family videos of potatoes, you will never see a vicious dog, but a loving big brother. Please pay close attention to our case. Please bring my boy his companion back. Bring peace back to our home and our hearts. Give my unborn son the opportunity to meet our great loving potato. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Hi, good evening. My name is Stephanie Lenfesti. I'm a volunteer with the San Bernardino City Shelter. And I wasn't going to speak tonight, but I really feel like some things need to be said. And so I'm just basically here to represent this family, Emily Pena, and especially her children that are very attached to their dog Potato, the family that just spoke. When animal control came to their house, they were given no documentation or medical proof that their dog had ever bitten anybody, and actually were threatened that it would cost them thousands of dollars if they did not turn over their dog. I'm just here to support this family and at least ask the city council to at least show proof of the biting, and then also have proper documentation given to this family so that this is all done correctly. This family deserves justice, and their dog is still in animal control, and I think, considering that I'm a volunteer there, we sure could use the space for the other animals, and if a dog is in there that doesn't need to be in there, I sure would like it to go back to this family. I think it also needs to be made aware of that Banana was possibly the dog that did the biting, and so we need to look at that also. I appreciate your time, and thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name. Madam City Manager, do you want to make a comment?
We will report back to you. So this is all preliminary, the information we're receiving now. So allow us the opportunity to report back to you with additional information, whatever we have available, because at this time I don't have that.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, and what was said, just will you double check and make sure like no dog is released, that if it is a biter is up for adoption? Can you double check on that?
Absolutely.
Thank you so
We'll
much.
check on the Banana. You're welcome.
Lydia Savala. First, I'd like to give credit to the women who speak about the atrocities that happen at the shelter, because I've had to break up my share of dog fights, and I have the stitches and scars to show for it. And you cannot imagine the intensity. I've never seen anything more violent than having to break up a dog fight. So I'll stick to data, but I commend the women that follow these horrible things that happen. So there's what I think, there's what I know, there's what I believe, and there's what I surmise. I'm going to start today with what I know. I know we have a transparency issue with the sharing of public data, because the data, all historical data prior to 25 has been scrubbed from the city website. And I know that the effort for truth has been delayed by removing significant items, columns of important data, which include gender, breed, age, species, the city that the animal came from. We have high euthanasia rates based on a data set that I sorted by category and analyzed for 23. A complete 100% analysis, the entire data set, 7,028 data items. I know we boast 80 to 90% live outcome rate, but those are live dogs. So one aspect of this model is controlled intake, meaning refusing to accept owner-relinquished animals. I also know that there are cities who refuse to use this model, and they refuse to turn animals away, resulting in very high kill rates, and they bear the consequences of those actions. I also know that dead on arrival dogs are of no consequence to animal services, because of course it has no effect on the save rate. And when I did my calculation, it came out to 50% of the animals that enter the shelter never leave alive. Almost 25% came in dead, the other 25% died there. Exactly 50%, exactly 50%. So how do you get to exactly 50%. You get to exactly 50% because there was human intervention in the handling of the data. And this is something that I confirmed with 3 mathematicians, a professor of college math, 2 individuals with degrees in math, and 1 individual with a master's in math. The likelihood of coming out to exactly 50% that never leave your shelter is slim to none. There's a problem with transparency.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Junior Creel. Good afternoon, Mayor, Council, staff. I don't know if you understand how difficult it is to be a council person. I know with PD you can do a ride-along. You know, I challenge you people that think it's an easy job. I wish there was a way you could serve for a week and know what these people go through. They're not all perfect, they're human. They make mistakes like everybody else, but you know, they're trying. I'm going to speak on commissions. If you want to get involved, get a hold of your council person, see if you can be a commissioner. If you can't be a commissioner, get involved in the city somehow, some way, and turn this negative into a positive. I mean, we need help in this city. We really do, and we need your help. I want to give a shout out to Chief Yeager. You think all they do is fire? They told the unhoused to get out of the creek, and it rained, and guess what they did? Our fire department was out there, evacuate them. You know, so they do a lot more than fire. I want to give a shout out to Public Works, Lynn Merrill, Azam. So many things they do that you're not aware of. I'm privileged to serve on the public safety, which is Public Works, PD, and fire, and it's such a blessing. I mean, there's so many things that, I mean, when Jeff spoke today and he told us all the exciting stuff that's happening in San Bernardino, it's great. It really is. If you want to strive on the negative, we can beat the negative all day long. But let's put together and strive on the positive things that's happening in this town. We are moving forward. We have a lot of work. I'm not going to say this town is perfect, but you know what? We could strive on the positive and help turn this city around. I want to thank Chief Goodman and his team. I remember when he came, the first thing he said was, if you're a law-abiding citizen, you're going to love me. He said, if you're a criminal, you have a reason to be concerned. With that said, I want to thank Chief Goodman and his team for finding the killers of Jessica Torres. And I would like to ask the council if tonight they can close in honor of her and her family at closing today. Thank you.
Thank you.
There are no more speakers.
Thank you so much, Madam City Clerk. We will now move on to consent calendar, items 7 to 20. Madam City Manager, is there anything that needs to be pulled or announced for those items?
No, nothing from my end.
Thank you.
Move to approve.
There's a motion. There's a second. Seeing no comments, please, I'm sorry. Any polls from other council members? Councilmember Ortiz?
And I approve. I just want to, for the home investment program.
Oh, just pull it and then you can ask.
Okay.
And then we can,
All right.
okay, so
Second,
8.
then.
Move
yeah.
the balance.
Yeah.
So there's a motion second, move the balance, pulling number 8. Please vote on your screen.
Did you get a second?
Are we good, Madam City Clerk?
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble seeing the vote. Hold on just a moment.
Looks all green over here.
Should we do a roll call vote?
No, sorry, motion passes unanimous.
Thank you. Item number 8, Councilmember Ortiz.
Just real quick, for this home investment program, it's amazing, and I'm really excited to see it. Are we making sure that we're going to get updates and so that we can see how this money's been invested? Same thing?
Councilmember Ortiz, yes, you will receive updates, and if you would like us to elaborate further, I can bring Gabriel Elliott up.
No, just like
later
when the city manager does the updates, just so we can see how the money's beautifying the community as time goes on would be cool.
Absolutely.
If that was your guys' plan.
Absolutely, we'll
Okay,
provide updates.
then move to approve. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Please vote for item number 8.
Can we take a voice vote on this one?
I'm sorry?
Can we take a voice vote for this
Sure.
one?
Voice vote, please.
Councilmember Sanchez?
Yes.
Councilmember Ibarra?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem
Yes.
Councilmember Charette? Councilmember Canas?
Yes.
Councilmember Flores?
Yes.
Councilmember Ortiz?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimous.
Thank you. Thank you, council. Moving along, we are now on to items to be considered for future meetings. We have item 21, presentation of community choice aggregation, CCA. Mayor Pro Tem Figueroa.
Yeah, this is simply just a request for, at a future point, a brief, it could be PowerPoint presentation at some type of whatever future meeting. It could be a regular meeting, or it could be at a workshop, just a brief presentation as far as CCAs, positive, negatives, all of that. It's regarding power, electric power, and energy.
Okay, yes, we can return with a report. Did you have a preferred timeline within the next month?
No,
or so?
just, I mean, it could be at a budget workshop, it could be at any future, it doesn't have to be an extensive presentation, just a brief 5-10 minute PowerPoint presentation, something like that.
We'll get that back to you.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Just so I understand, it's an update on where we're at with the CCA with the city?
Just a brief explanation for the public and the council as well.
Thank you.
Move to approve?
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Madam City Clerk.
Can we take a voice vote? Councilmember Sanchez?
Yes.
Councilmember Ibarra?
Yes.
Councilmember Figueroa?
Yes.
Councilmember Charette? And Councilmember Canas?
Yes.
Councilmember Flores?
Yes.
Councilmember Ortiz?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimous.
Thank you, council. Now we will move on to Mayor and City Council updates, which is the last thing on the agenda. Moving along, 7:14 p.m. Okay, Councilmember Ibarra.
Yes, I recently attended the Muscopiabi Neighborhood Association community meeting, and it was a very nice meeting. They only meet like 4 times a year. If you live, then they're covering G or H Street all the way to the 215 freeway. So if you live in that area north of Highland, please get involved with your neighborhood associations. This is a very active one. It covers both the 7th Ward and the 2nd Ward. So if you're residents in that area, I highly encourage you to attend. We had our police department there. I was there. Councilmember Ortiz was there. And we just pretty much gave updates. The one important speaker that we have every year is earthquakes, the BRACE program. So if you haven't secured your home for earthquakes, I can provide information for anybody who would like to know. Let me know. My email is my last name, ibarra_sa@sbcity.org. And there's actually funding available for homeowners to secure their homes at no cost. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Canas?
I don't want to steal his thunder, but I'm sure he'll give his update. I had the honor of attending Councilmember and Mayor Pro Tem Juan Figueroa's meeting. And I have to say, he has the best and most engaged constituency. It's always been a pleasure, even before I stepped onto the dais. I've been attending his ward's meetings for years. Extremely informative. So kudos to you, Mayor Pro Tem, and thank you for that. I also just want to give another shout out to Tactical 10-8. I had the opportunity to attend their grand opening. I'm big on small businesses. I'm big on community. It's always a pleasure when we have people invest in the city of San Bernardino. So I just want to say thank you again to Tactical 10-8, and thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Sanchez?
Yes, I want to continue to remind everyone to support a local celebrity
Terry Washington. He will be boxing on March 8th, 2025. Tickets are available at tix.com, tix.com. Doors open at 6, and he will be fighting in Pomona. The address is 301 South Gary Avenue in Pomona. So please, I'm going. I bought a bunch of tickets. I'm bringing a lot of people with me. Go out and support one of our local hometown heroes. And that's it.
Thank you. Councilmember Ortiz?
Thank you, Mayor. So I, with Councilwoman Ibarra, attended the Muscogee Neighborhood Association as well as the Neenah North End Neighborhood Association. Great group of people, super lively, so if you can, I absolutely recommend showing up. I also met with the nonprofit community, and I wanted to, just with the transition, I had originally had an item to be requested, which was the creation of a community homeless committee, and so that is going to be in the November 5th. It just didn't make it to this one, so for the council to consider us establishing that, and so we'll be following up again with City Manager Romo, but we hear you, everything that's going on with homelessness, addressing Pioneer Park, as well as making sure, I wanted to give you an update on the on Caltrans. They are moving as quickly as they can. They are working directly in conjunction with our city as well. And so for those of us that met on the cleanups, they are still moving, as well as we are looking into the sound wall in discussions with Caltrans and the county on the Waterman Improvement Project. So I will try to keep you as updated as I can. And then I will also, I'm having a meeting on the animal shelter with a couple of my residents and my commissioner, and then I will be providing a live update on Facebook regarding everything that I can, in conjunction with sharing what I learned with the city manager. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. Mayor Pro Tem Figueroa?
Thank you, Mayor. I want to start off by apologizing, I guess, for my absence at the last meeting. I apologize to the public, to the staff, and to my colleagues for my absence last meeting. I, like many other people this time of year, was sick and unable to attend. So I think I'm about 95% better now, I guess. So I'm almost there. I'm sorry? Oh, I don't know. Somebody was saying something. I don't know. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. So I do apologize for my absence last meeting. Thank you, Councilmember Canas. You did mention I had the opportunity to host just a community meeting last Saturday. Our special guest was from Burtech, just to provide us updates on and education on SB 1383 and the implementation of that, and what to expect, and how the public, what the public needs to know and what to do as well. So thank you to Burtech for coming out and providing that education to the public. It was very well attended. I appreciate our Southern and Western District resource officers who were present there as well to engage the community. Councilmember Theodore Sanchez, Kim Canas, and Mario Flores were present there, along with many other individuals also. So thank you to all of you who were there, and also a special thank you to Chief, to you, and our San Bernardino police officers, in conjunction with surrounding agencies, Riverside County, San Bernardino County, CHP, and I believe Bakersfield as well, in our pursuit for bringing individuals to justice. I won't go into details, but sir, thank you for your leadership in that department, and to all our officers and the work that went into in doing that. So thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Councilmember Flores?
Thank you, Mayor. No, just very briefly, I want to give a shout out and congratulations to the San Bernardino High School boys water polo team. They recently won their CIF 6th Division championship, so it's just incredible to see that people from our community are putting San Bernardino on the map. And then also one of the players on the team is valedictorian for his graduating class of 2025. So I just want to shout them out. And then lastly, I want to thank staff. I greatly appreciate all the work that you guys do, all the tireless nights and the work that you put in for not only these items, but being out in the community, helping. It doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Charette?
Thank you, Mayor. A couple of announcements for neighborhood association meetings tomorrow evening up in the north end. The Wildwood Neighborhood Association will be meeting tomorrow evening at the Lutheran Church up at the north end, the far north end of Sierra Way. It's 5050 North Sierra Way. They have a social hour, usually from 6:30 till about 7. The meeting starts at 7 and runs about an hour. So again, that's Wildwood Neighborhood Association tomorrow evening, Thursday, February 20th. And then the same night, competing neighborhood associations, a little further to the west, the North Park Neighborhood Association will be meeting at 6:30 to 7:30. Again, that's tomorrow night, Thursday, February 20th. And they meet at the Life Changing Ministries Church, which is at 5395 North F Street. So again, Wildwood Neighborhood Association for the Wildwood Park neighborhood area, and North Park Neighborhood Association for the North Park neighborhood area, both tomorrow evening. Thank you.
Thank you. On February 5th, I attended the Omnitrans Board meeting as well as the San Bernardino County Transportation Authority Board of Directors meeting from February 5th to 7th. I attended the Mayor's Institute of Design, Just City in Boston, Massachusetts. I'm part of the 2025 class of 8 mayors throughout the country to take an in-depth look at injustices in the housing system and explore innovative, equitable solutions to create more inclusive and sustainable communities. This is through the Harvard Graduate School of Design, so it's an honor. It's at no cost to the city, so it's a wonderful program. I also attended the February 12th at the San Bernardino County Transportation Authority General Policy meeting, as well as the Metro Valley Study session. And that is it for me. So now the meeting is adjourned at 7:23 p.m.
Are we having a moment for Jessica?
Oh, I'd like to close the meeting in honor of Jessica Torres. Please take a moment of silence. Thank you. The next joint regular meeting of the Mayor and City Council and the Mayor and City Council acting as the successor agency to the Redevelopment Agency, and the Mayor and City Council acting as the San Bernardino City Housing Authority, and Mayor and City Council of the City of San Bernardino acting as the San Bernardino Joint Powers Finance Authority will adjourn at 7:24 p.m. to the regular meeting to be held on March 5th, 2025 at the Felltown Central Library located at 555 West 6th Street, San Bernardino, California, 92401. Closed session will begin at 4 p.m. and open session